Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about stress management. And we always talk about gains, we talk about muscle growth, strength gains, fat loss. We always talk about the diet end, the training end, even the fatigue management from the training side. But something that doesn't get brought up enough is stress management and mitigating stress. And what do I mean? I mean stress in your entire life. Because realistically speaking, if you want to find something that will absolutely destroy your gains, it's stress. Just like you'll see medical doctors will tell you that stress will shorten your life, it will shave years off of your life, it will absolutely impact your ability to make gains. And, what I would tell people, a lot of it, the things that I'll discuss here, is learning to let things go. Either have an outlet for your stress, and for many people, training is oftentimes their outlet for their stress. And I think that's a frustrating part, is that when you're stressed the most, sometimes you can't train as much because you can't recover. So it's kind of a catch-22 in that regard. But, a lot of it comes down to taking that me time. And people say, well, I can't. Well, no, you have to. You have to. There are people who are like, because of their relationships, their children, their responsibilities, like, I don't have time to take the me time. And it's like, well, you're going to have to. Because if you don't, you can't be 100% for those things either. All right, so what do we mean by stressors that will impact you? Well, everything from stress at your work, having a bad day at work. Many people, they have extremely stressful jobs. And, even a job that you love can be stressful at times. There are times when I get stress related to my work, and the coaching is something I love. But perfect stressors are, what if a client's having a really bad time of it and you're emotionally invested in that client? What about when one of your clients gets injured? All right, or one that I've had happen. What happens if some of your best clients, one of your best clients, has to drop because they can't afford coaching? I mean, that's a perfect example, even in a dream job, right? And for most people out there, they don't have their dream job. You guys are out here trying to make gains, and you don't have your dream job. You might have a really stressful job. You might have a job that you had to take just to be able to, feed your family. Not in the situation I'm in. Okay, that's stressful. Relationship stress. Things you're fighting with the wife, fighting with the husband, fighting with the girlfriend. How about a breakup? All right, breakups are stressful. I had at least one that the whole internet found out about. That's stressful, guys. Recently, of course, I've had several since I've been on YouTube. All right, I've had a few. I was married when I started YouTube, married to my second wife. Right, I got divorced. Why, as a YouTuber? Okay. Had 2 long-term girlfriends of at least 3 years that I broke up with as a YouTuber. Those are stressful. And you're all going to go through these things. How about illness in a loved one? How about a parent dying? How about your pet dying? I've had both of those with quite a few clients. I've had clients whose whole training was derailed for an entire week because of a pet dying. It happens. Of course, I've been there. So here's the thing, guys. Stress. All these things can not only impact your training, they can impact your recovery to training, because they elevate your stress hormones. They elevate your cortisol. And, what are strategies that we can use to get through these things? And I'm not saying it's going to make everything perfect, because it won't. Life is never going to be perfect. Everyone has problems. Almost everyone out here is like, oh, my problems will be solved by money. Then you see someone who's a billionaire who has major problems too. Now, granted, they don't have the same problems you have and I have, but they got problems. They have stressors. Most people are laughing, saying, I'd love to have that type of stress. I think most of us would, but they even have stressors. So what do we do about it? Well, part of it, learning to let go. Part of it's learning to let go and say, okay, is this something that I can control? And if you can't control it, there's a point where you have to learn to let go, or you have to have an outlet to channel that stress. Because what if it is something really important? I could say that a lot of things don't matter. Does a stressful day at work matter? Probably not. We can learn to breathe, take a deep breath, breathe out, let those things go. We can. Maybe the death of a loved one or illness of a loved one, a parent, a child, your wife. Right, that's a little different, isn't it? Because you can't just let that one go to the same degree. We can't. We're human. Okay. What do you do there? You're going to have to learn to find outlets to get that stress out. You're going to have to take that moment to take that hot bath to relax. But that's the sort of stuff you have to do. You've got to, learn to take that hot bath. Just soak in a hot bath. Epsom salts, bubble bath, whatever you need. Listen to your favorite song. Listen to your favorite album for an hour. Set some time aside, even if it's in your car. Listen to your favorite album. Listen to your favorite music. The things that you need to make you happy, to help you de-stress, you have to do those things. And if you don't, then it's going to impact your gains. But that's something that people have to put a lot more thought into, is stress mitigation, stress management. And sit down and think these things through, because just the advice I gave here, it may not be optimal for you. It may not be ideal for you. But we have to find our me time. We have to find that time that lets us relax, it lets us unwind, lets us purge those negative emotions. Okay, because those negative emotions, that is what stresses us, right? It's not that the things that we're going through themselves stresses, it's the negative emotions that we develop around them. And sometimes those emotions are warranted, so when I say purge those out, I don't mean to say, well, you shouldn't have that response, because again, realistically, we're human beings. Okay? We're not machines. We're going to feel those things. We're going to be stressed by stuff. We're going to have those negative emotions, right? But you get to choose what you do with them. And sometimes they require us to purge them. It requires us to do some self-care, some me time, whatever that happens to be for you. And like I said, for one person, and I'm going to say, don't make it always the gym. Don't always make it the gym. For one person, it's, their sex life. For another person, it's music. Another person, it's a hot bath. It could be all those things. But you've got to find that time that is your me time, that lets you purge those negative emotions. If you can learn to do that, your gains are going to be better. Or at the very least, the negative impact of the really stressful times will be reduced. It won't hurt your gains as badly. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.